football day in the 50s. Clear skies as the Raiders will kick it off. That's Rich Parson, just activated by Washington. Liddell Betts, who returned to kick off 94 yards for a touchdown against Tampa Bay, is not in uniform today, out with a knee injury. Short kick. It's Mike Sellers up in the wedge, who takes it across the 35, 37-yard line, and that's where the Redskins will put it in play. Veteran quarterback Mark Brunell, 14 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, but leads the NFL with 5 lost fumbles. Up front, right tackle John Jansen is the rock on the Redskins offensive line. And Clinton Portis. Portis, number 8 in the NFL in rushing, 764 yards on the ground and 5 TDs. He won't be given the breathing space that he gets normally because Betts out of the lineup. Rock Cartwright will be the backup running back. That's Thrash in motion as the toss to the sideline to Chris Cooley, who has become a popular player here. You hear the Cooley as he may have been jarred from the football. Redskins say they have it. Ronaldo Hill over there. No signal yet. As Norv Turner and the assistant coaches for the Raiders campaign for the ball. Jeff Triplett, the referee today, gets a tough call right off the bat.
Looks like a little bit of uncertainty by the officials on the sidelines. Look at Chris Cooley just coming out in the flat. Makes a great catch. Got the ball in the wrong hand. And looks like that ball comes out when he hits the ground.
But it rolls out of bounds and still in his possession. So the Redskins maintain control.
As a young receiver, you always want to have that ball on the sideline hand or arm. And young Chris Cooley had that ball on his inside and not where you want to have it.
Second down.
Early the ball rolling across the sideline, still in control of the Redskins. So it'll be second down and 3. As Cooley, the H-back, has another catch that gives him 42 for the year. He is developed as a third-round draft pick out of Utah State as a very positive offensive weapon as a receiver, and of course can block as well at 250 pounds. James Thrash in motion. Clinton Portis swinging wide. First down and more into Raider territory at the 48-yard line. Tommy Kelly chases him down. Look at the Raiders defense featuring up front the 365-pound run stopper at nose tackle Ted Washington. San Diego State rookie Kirk Morrison being used more and more at linebacker. He leads Oakland in tackles, and the injury-riddled Raider secondary needs the youngsters like rangy Nnamdi Asamoah to step up, make a big play. There's Big Ted right off the nose. First down, Brunell tosses to Portis. Runs into his own blockers and barely able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Derek Burgess, the ex-Eagle at defensive end, and Warren Sapp collaborate with the tackle.
Well, one of the things Clinton Portis likes to do is bounce runs and get to the edge. He told me he had to be more patient as a runner when he came over here from Denver. In Denver, he was a one-shot, downhill type of guy, one cut and go. Here, he says it takes some time for some of these runs to develop. Tackles and guards have to get out on the edge. I need to be more patient as a runner.
Picks up a yard on that carry. Portis tries the center of the line and able to drive inside the 45. Tommy Kelly and others with the tackle will be 3rd and 4. Clinton Portis, who can be a bit outlandish in his style and his press conferences, and we'll have more on that later. Acquired a year ago from the Denver Broncos, as the Broncos were able to pick up Champ Bailey and a number 2 draft pick used for Tatum Bell, who has now become their star runner this year. A long 4 on 3rd down. That's Santana Moss in motion. Brunell's first pass, second pass is incomplete. Cooley had it on his fingertips, turning upfield, could not hang on, and out comes the kicking unit for Washington.
Well, years ago, you've never seen a Washington Redskin quarterback being shotgun. You see Mark Brunell there in the shotgun somewhere where he feels comfortable. Little route to Chris Cooley, just cannot make the catch on a third down, but look for more of that today from the Redskins, something that they've done more and more this year.
Rookie from Boise State, Chris Carr, back for the Raiders at the 10. Derek Frost, the punter, averaging just under 42 a kick. Dying spiral, Carr fair catch at the 11-yard line. And we have our first timeout, back with the Raiders on offense in Washington. Kerry Collins, a veteran from Penn State, the Big Ten champions, trying to shake off the damage of 3 costly interceptions last week. One went for an 80-yard touchdown against him as the Broncos won in Oakland. From the 11, Lamont Jordan. And this is a tough defense against the run, best in the league a year ago, and they allowed Tampa Bay just a little over 2 yards a carry last week. On the front wall, the Raiders have, for the 5th time in his career, starting at center Jake Grove for the injured Adam True, and there's the All-Pro Randy Moss, still not 100%, but the Raiders told us that he had his best practice week in a month this last week. Swing it out to Jordan, who leads the Raiders in rushing and receiving. Only a yard there, not much at all as Sean Springs makes the play. The Redskins defensively without playmaking tackle Cornelius Griffin. Demetric Evans starting today at defensive tackle. 3-time Pro Bowler LeVar Arrington back in form. Starts on the outside, and hard-hitting 232-pound safety Sean Taylor returns. He did not play last week out with an ankle against the Buccaneers. There's LeVar Arrington, who comes out in passing situations, an extra defensive back in. They are proud of being the 12th man, the crowd here for the Redskins. A throw over the middle, intercepted right into the arms of Lamar Marshall, and Marshall takes it in for a touchdown. Only the 2nd interception in his career. Lamar Marshall takes this one in for a touchdown. Thrown right to him, and that's what plagued Collins against Denver last week.
Well, Dick, you look at Kerry Collins' eyes the whole time he's looking to his right. He reels back late. He never feels Lamar Marshall, never even sees him. Throws this blindly, and Lamar Marshall takes it back for an easy interception. Not something you'd expect from a veteran quarterback.
4th-year linebacker out of Michigan State, 17 yards unofficially. Joe Gibbs looked almost puzzled by that himself. John Hall in to try the extra point. And the Redskins strike gold on the interception return for a score. It's 7-0. Of the Washington Monument at our nation's capital. Visit CBS Sportsline tonight. Web exclusive post-game show analysis from our team of NFL experts and a complete wrap-up of all the day's action. You'll probably see that interception touchdown again, only on CBSSportsline.com. Kerry Collins, he had allowed only 3 interceptions the first 8 games, 3 last week, 1 for a touchdown, and another today. This is Chris Carr, wrapped up before he gets to the 20-yard line. Sean Taylor, the starting safety on special teams.
Well, when you go back and look at the interception, we talked about Kerry Collins' eyes. It looks to me like he's trying to wheel back around and find his check down to Lamont Jordan. Never feels Philip Daniels. Philip Daniels is the one who actually makes this play. He gets his hand on the ball. It affects Collins' release. The end result, the interception.
Clark, the starting safety for the Redskins, left leg. He was on the kick coverage. Collins hands it off to Jordan, swinging outside, and Jordan battles for just 2. Lamar Marshall with a tackle. Well, Collins, a week ago at home against Denver, threw 3 interceptions. The big one was to Darren Williams, 80 yards for a touchdown, as the Raiders at the time were down by only 7. And here on his first toss today, arm hit, flops right to Marshall, easy touchdown.
And you see the pressure when he's under pressure, his performance, completion percentage dramatically lower. It's a guy that really struggles when you get after him.
The Redskin defense had forced only 7 turnovers prior to that. interception. And their defense playing at a high level early. Ronaldo Wynn leading the charge with Marcus Washington backing up.
And Dick, if you're a defensive coordinator, you're very aware of those statistics, how his numbers drop off, his efficiency drops off, his completion percentage drops off. Kerry Collins we're talking about when he's under pressure. And so as a defensive coordinator, you say to yourself, we got to get after this guy. We got to bring pressures, whether they're zone pressures or man pressures, attack him, force him to throw the ball before he's ready.
Unable to move on the ground. Collins looks at a tough 3rd and 11 deep in his own end. Pressure, throw, incomplete. Courtney Anderson reaching back for the ball, couldn't pull it in.
Well, they haven't had a lot of production from the tight end situation. Courtney Anderson dropping a ball here, only 15 catches all season. This is a guy that's been a major disappointment for the Raiders, Courtney Anderson. Got him open on a shallow route, a little behind him, but this is a catch that he has to make, especially when their offense is struggling.
So Shane Leckler, the league's best punter, with Santana Moss. He dazzled the opponents while a New York Jet on punt returns. Very high. The man from Miami of Florida has it at the 33, spins away and then is crushed by an on-charging special teams tackle, as downfield for the Raiders was Isaiah Ekajuba. Regarded as the league's best punter. That was a 50-yard punt, gives him 31 straight games in which he has hit at least one 50-yarder. That has not been done 31 in a row since the merger in 70. Brunell dumps it out to Cooley, and Cooley across the 40, missed tackle, and he's to midfield and to the 49 of the Raiders before Stuart Schweigert can get him out of bounds. Well, we're 8 weeks into the TV season and only one team stands unbeaten. 15 yards to Cooley, and the Redskins are in Raider territory. Clinton Portis to the 46-yard line. Nnamdi Asomugha makes the tackle, number 21.
Well, the Redskins use that H-back we talked about earlier. They almost revolutionized it years ago when Joe Gibbs was winning all those Super Bowls, and they use a number of different guys in that position. Chris Cooley we talked about, Mike Sellers. They also use their tight end Robert Royal coming on and off the ball. Something we'll talk about more, but it's worked very, very well for the Redskins.
2nd and 8. Give it to Portis again. Good fake by Brunell as he carried it out and drew some Raiders to him, thinking he was going to bootleg, and Portis near a 1st down.
Well, you look at the H-back, and there's more options with this H-back. The Redskins believe that. It gives them an opportunity to have a lead blocker for Clinton Portis. It also gives them the opportunity to have an edge blocker, a guy who can go up there, it's big enough to block linebackers and defensive ends. And it also that gives them what they believe is a more accomplished receiver in the passing game, and that's just what Chris Cooley's been for the Redskins.
See the stat tracks. Portis with 20 early yards and 5 carries. It's 3rd and 2. Strength to the right. Taylor Jacobs replacing the injured David Patton to the far right. And the handoff inside to Portis, and Portis a 1st down or close to it at the 39. Let's see how they spot it. The sticks are right there. It is a 1st down.
The thing that this Redskin offense is doing such a good job of, they're mixing it up on 1st and 2nd down. Some passes, some play action passes, some runs. They're getting themselves in good situations, these short situations on 3rd down, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, where they can convert.
Let's check that. They spot the ball back near the 40-yard line. It's 4th down and a half-yard. It appeared that they initially had marked it at the 39. Would have been a 1st down, but the back end of the ball now tickles the 40, and so out comes the punting team. Derek Frost.
Delay of game.
And
Washington.
a 5-yard delay of game penalty.
It's still 4th down.
Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, and the 5-yard penalty not a problem here. It gives the kicker Frost more room with which to work from midfield. And look at the Raiders. They're late. There's Joe Avizano, the Raiders special team coach, and he barely got his team on the field. The Raiders weren't convinced that the Redskins were going to truly kick the ball. Chris Carr back at the 10-yard line. Here come the Raiders. And Frost boot. Carr says stay away. Takes a beautiful Washington kick. And down inside the 10-yard line. Now once again, Kerry Collins and the Raiders will have to work from deep in their own end with 6:16 remaining in the first quarter, and the Raiders up by an interception touchdown. Those Hogettes are a friendly sort. Look at the invite a Raider fan to be in the pig pen. They don't age, those Hogettes, do they? At the 9, Redskins leading 7-0. Lamont Jordan, just no room to run as the Redskin defense, led by Joe Salavea, denying once again.
Well, they're playing with a lot of emotion up front, that Redskin defense. Well, defensive line, a bunch of overachievers, guys that give a lot of effort, a lot of energy, guys that have been other places, a lot of free agents, and they've come together collectively as a group and played very, very well this year for the Redskins.
And they're playing without Cornelius Griffin, who is their top sack producer and led the league last year, tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Long throw to Jerry Porter. Is he inbounds? Yes. Beautifully thrown pass by Collins, leading Porter to the sidelines, and a first down at the 39.
Well, this is what he does as well as anybody. I think it's where he's most comfortable. The play action. You watch him drop back, big strong drop, good vision downfield, and this is an unbelievable throw between two defenders right on the sidelines between Harris and Clark. He just fits that in there. Porter does a nice job keeping his feet in for a big play for the Raiders.
29 yards on the pass to Porter. Fake, and Collins looking downfield again. Goes long for Moss. Intercepted and then dropped. Sean Taylor had it, and as he fell to the ground, the ball popped free. Moss had a good step on the defense.
Well, you watch him on the inside. He's actually going to go right down the middle of the field. He splits this two deep coverage. There's plenty more in there for Randy Moss. Kerry Collins underthrows this one. Sean Taylor gets a chance to come back in and make the play. I believe Randy Moss could have done a better job maybe boxing him out and going up for that ball and trying to make a play.
So 2nd and 10. Lamont Jordan behind Clark. Collins steps away from the pressure. No one to throw to. Has to gun it out of bounds. He had Elvis Whitted on the sidelines, but the top cornerback for the Redskins, Sean Springs, was all over him.
Well, you got to anticipate on 2nd long against this Redskin defense, Greg Williams will bring his zone pressures. And that was just the case there. Kerry Collins does a pretty good job stepping up, just not able to make a play downfield with his receivers.
So 3rd and 10, and the noise level rises once again from these Washington fans. Jordan dragged down after a gain of 3 or 4. Philip Daniels from the defensive end spot, and the Raiders will have to give up the ball.
Kind of an unusual call there. The only thing I can guess is that Norv Turner was anticipating a blitz of some sort. Thought maybe he'd slip one in out the back door with Lamont Jordan. Redskins too smart for that. They stay at home and make a big stop on 3rd and 10.
James Thrash played at Missouri State, Division III ball. He's been a solid special teamer in his career. Leckler sends it very high. Thrash is going to let it go. He takes a nice backward kick, and the Raiders will down it at the 8-yard line. First touch there by Gerard Cooper. Timeout, 7-0 Skins. 9-yard pass from Collins to Porter won the field position battle, and now it's Brunell who starts deep in his own end.
And now a chance to back him up a little bit, maybe play some defense if you're the Raiders.
17-yard touchdown return by Lamar Marshall. The score for Washington, 7-0 here in the opening quarter. Portis cutting back off the backside, and he bounces free to 30, and the flag goes down. As Portis wisely, now there's the patience you were talking about, Rich Gannon. Everything jammed up inside, quick swing to the outside. Referee Triplett, though, acknowledges the yellow flag.
Holding. Number 84, the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. It's still first down.
That eats up a 23-yard gain by Portis.
Well, this is something that Portis does as well as anybody. He's changed of direction. He starts it downhill, then he bounces it back outside. If you're the Raiders defenders, you got to stay at home on that backside and not allow something like this to happen. Clinton Portis is too dangerous a runner.
Rob Ryan, defensive coordinator of the Raiders. Taylor Jacobs, the wide receiver, committed the hold. They spotted at the 11, so it's a 3-yard gain net, so it's 1st and 7. Brunel to the sideline and incomplete. The quick swing to James Thrash as he was covered well by Fabian Washington. This Washington team trying to win 6 in a row. They won their last game at home in the 2004 season, but on the road a different matter.
Well, that's the biggest difference right there has been the turnovers. I mean, when you turn it over like that, you don't give yourself a chance on the road. On the road, they've done a lot better job here at home.
2nd down. Portis looking for that hole. Fumbles the ball, and the Raiders have recovered. Picked up by Stuart Schweigert and returned a couple of yards to the 15. So Portis fumbles right into the hands of the Raider defense. So turnabout fair play, a gift this time to Oakland.
Well, just what Joe Gibbs didn't want to see. This has not been a very opportunistic defense, the Raiders. You see Portis coming downhill. Somebody reaches a hand in and pops it out. There it is right there. And Stuart Schweigert, opportunistic. Tommy Kelly looks like he got his hand in on there. Coming down, I don't think Clinton Portis ever quite feels him. He gets his hand on the ball, and Stuart Schweigert is able to make a big play for the Raiders.
So Lamar Marshall, a 17-yard touchdown interception for the Redskins score. Now the Portis fumble sets up North Turner's team at the Redskin 15. Jordan up the middle, plowing his way down to the 7-yard line, and that's the best run production thus far in the quarter for Oakland. Clark and Taylor, the two safeties, got him to the turf. The Raiders, red zone, 4 touchdowns in their last 10 trips. That's about average. They want to be up there about 6 out of 10. Greg Williams calling on his defense. 8-yard pickup by Jordan on 1st down, 2nd and 2. Back to Jordan. Picking his way, and only a yard or two, Marcus Washington, 6-year linebacker from Auburn, there to plug the hole.
This is something the Raiders have not done a good job taking advantage of turnovers and the opportunities. You need to gain some momentum on the road. What better way to do it than to take advantage of a turnover inside the opponent's 20-yard line? This is a big, big 3rd down for the Raiders.
Ball spotted just shy of the 5. It needs to be across the 5 for the 1st down. So 3rd down, and that's misleading where the down box is. It's a matter of about a foot. 2 tight ends. Jordan cuts back, drives his way to the 2-yard line. Some hard running by the 230-pounder who starred nearby for the Terrapins of Maryland.
Well, not quite Clinton Portis, but Lamont Jordan has some maneuverability as well. You watch him put his foot in the ground, make a nice cut. He's more powerful runner probably than Clinton Portis. Picks up some real hard yards down here in the red zone.
Lamar Arrington got to him at the line of scrimmage, but unable to bring him down as Portis looks on, hoping the defense can save his fumble from a touchdown. 1st and goal. Jordan and Crockett. It's Jordan again for a yard. Good pursuit by Kerry Campbell, former Bowling Green star, number 50. So Lamont Jordan, who has been able to find the end zone. He has 7 rushing touchdowns and 2 on catches, a total of 9 to lead the Silver and Black.
Well, if you're going to throw it, Dick, this is the place to do it on 2nd down, not on 3rd down. As a quarterback, I always wanted the opportunity on 2nd down, and they weren't expecting it. Crockett and Jordan lined up behind Collins.
Flemister in motion. There's the fake. Is there anyone open? Incomplete on the goal line to Zeron Flemister, former Redskin.
Well, unfortunately for the Raiders, the Redskins were expecting pass there, and they do a nice job staying at home. See the fake coming right downhill at you. Kerry Collins does a good job. Gets out on the edge. The Redskins stay at home. It's a great job by Marcus Washington covering Zeron Flemister in the flat.
But as you pointed out, that's not Collins for it to be throwing on the run. Brunell likes to throw on the run. Collins steadier when camped in the pocket, and the Raiders are going to spend a timeout. 48 seconds left, opening quarter. Gannon, Armin Kanteo, Dick Enberg, Mark Wolf, our producer, Bob Fishman, our director. Welcome to Redskin country, 90,000 plus, the NFL's largest stadium, FedEx Field, and they're on their feet trying to help the defense here on 3rd and goal from the 2. Again, having to throw on the run deep in the end zone. Touchdown, Randy Moss, but the flag is down, and it might be against Moss. He had a push before the ball arrived, and that's the call.
You'll see Moss in the back of the end zone. He's working on the inside. He starts to run to the corner, realizes he can't beat, so he pulls up and actually pushes off Walt Harris. Walt Harris has got himself in good position to make a play. Randy Moss just reaches out and pushes him. I don't know that he needed to do that in that particular situation.
So Moss using the basketball skills. He's one of the great players in West Virginia high school history. Could have played basketball or football and even tried out some semi-pro basketball while a member of the NFL. And the penalty turns a touchdown into a 10-yard loss, and the Raiders lead in penalties and penalty yards.
Well, he's made some plays, 3 touchdowns in the last 13 receptions, despite the fact that he has not been on the field as much for the Raiders.
4-man rush on Collins. Fires to the end zone, incomplete. Trying to go right back to Moss, and Sean Taylor was there to deflect it, incomplete.
That's one thing Kerry Collins will do. He has so much confidence and faith in Randy Moss that he'll give him some shots. He'll throw some balls into some tight coverage, thinking that Randy Moss will go up and make a play. Look at the play before where Walt Harris had his back to the line of scrimmage, wasn't able to see the throw, and Kerry Collins trusted Randy Moss enough to give him a shot.
So up comes the field goal unit, and Sebastian Janikowski has made 14 of 19. This is a 30-yard attempt, and the left-footed booter out of Florida State gives the Raiders their first points. The Clinton Portis fumble becomes 3 for Oakland. Washington still in front. Had to push to find some open room. Wasn't a big shove, but detected by the officials, denied the touchdown. And Janikowski's 30-yard field goal, ultimately the score for these Raiders, who trail 7-3. Janikowski to kick it off. James Thrash and Rich Parson. There's Parson, number 14, rookie undrafted out of Maryland, just signed off the practice squad, and he gets his chance in the big leagues. Down he goes hard at the 22-yard line, with Randall Williams leading the charge for Joe Albacenzo's Raiders special teamers. 24 seconds left in this first quarter.
Well, the Redskins certainly dodged the bullet there. Clinton Portis ought to thank his defense for going out there and holding him to just a field goal. Hate to put the ball down on the ground anytime, fumbling it, but certainly not when you're backed up.
Penalty is going to be assessed on the kickoff. They'll re-kick.
Well, the Raiders offside on the kickoff, so the Redskins wisely will say, let's have it try it again. And of course, you get those guys having to go back and then run downfield again, and too often that's a real burn for special teams coaches, because the gain can sometimes be sizable.
Yeah, Joe Avazano realizes that. Probably one of the more animated special teams coaches in the league, and guy that's done a great job over the years, not only here with the Raiders, but all those Super Bowl years with the Cowboys. he finds a way to get his guys to play hard. That's one thing he does. He gets a lot of young guys to get involved in the kicking game, make plays, and he's got two of the better kickers in the league, Sebastian Janikowski and obviously Pro Bowl punter Shane Leckler.
We saw James Thrash on NFL Today giving Norv Turner a big hug, welcoming him back to Washington. Thrash is one of only a handful. You talk about the carousel, the player personnel carousel, how few players last on a team. 5 years ago, Thrash and only 4 others were on this Washington roster. Here's Parsons, second chance, and this is exactly what happens too often, all the way to midfield before Stuart Schweigert can make the tackle. So Rich Parsons in his first serious contribution to this Redskin team, much to the dismay of Avasano and the Raiders across the way.
How about that? A guy that was on the practice squad a couple weeks ago, and he comes up and gets his opportunity and he makes the most of it.
He was almost ready to give up football and become a marriage counselor. He was a student at Maryland, has his degree in marriage counseling. Couldn't divorce himself from the Raider total defense, but got it to the 50. Hand off inside, and Danny Clark was right there to hit Portis for a loss. Clark, the number 2 tackler in that Oakland defense. Final seconds of this first quarter. Washington 7 and Oakland 3. You're watching the NFL on CBS, America's most watched network. Field and Washington with a ball, second down and 13. At their own 46 with Portis in the backfield, Brunell in the shotgun. The Raiders were offside. Brunell dumps the ball back incomplete, intended for Taylor Jacobs. Appeared to be Ed Jasper, defensive lineman that lurched offside for Oakland.
Offside defense, number 95. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, those 5-yard penalties,
down.
Rich, nag at you as well.
Yeah, they nag at defensive coordinators. You see Rob Ryan there giving them 5 free yards, but a veteran quarterback like Mark Brunell uses that voice inflection so well, realizes this is a way to help his offensive line, changing the snap count, keeping this defensive line off balance.
Fake to Moss and hit from the backside, almost intercepted as he flipped it, not knowing he was about to be hit. And the man that was nearest the ball for Washington was a lineman, center Casey Robach. So a flag flies. Derek Burgess was coming in hard on Brunell's blind side. Burgess appealing, he wanted the sack. He has 7 this year to lead Oakland. Jeff Triplett with a legal man downfield or legal touch by a lineman, and Rob Ryan playing a little charades.
Go forward pass. Number 61 of the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Correction. They decline that foul, making it 3rd down.
The Raiders decline, bring up 3rd down.
Well, not a decision I'm sure Mark Brunell liked to have back. Just seemed like the timing and rhythm of that play was off. Looked like maybe he was trying to get a screen out the back, and just a poor decision by Mark Brunell.
3rd down and 8. Brunell into the shotgun. As Rich told you, he feels so comfortable. Glad they added the formation. Didn't use it all of last year, and the hard count might have gotten the Raiders again. A flag is down. The throw is out of the field of play. And once again, that 3rd hut, the hard hut, induced movement forward by one of the down linemen of Oakland. Oakland pointing at the Redskins, so maybe they
offside.
Nope.
Defense. Defensive end. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Well, you just give a veteran team like this more opportunities. You just shoot yourselves in the foot. You know, Mark Brunell probably went back and watched a lot of tape this week and saw that the Raiders had a tendency to jump off sides in certain situations, and so he's using more of that hard count, especially in critical third down situations.
Well, penalties giving life to this Redskin drive. Now third down and a long 3. Good pressure. Brunell, always a good scrambler, forward for a first down. 39-yard line before Kirk Morrison, the rookie linebacker from San Diego State, could make the stop.
Well, the Raiders have gotten better with their pressure package, especially from their interior guys. You see Sapp and Kelly around the end, and certainly Burgess, who's had 7 sacks. Mark Brunell senses that and takes a serious head-to-head blow from young rookie linebacker Kirk Morrison. They're the type of hits that you want to avoid if you're Mark Brunell. That particular type of hit, Dick, ended my career.
Yeah, it did. That was a frightening moment, which even for those of us who watched. Brunell calls time. Fluids being knocked out of one who is struck. Well, it even went to a higher level on that last hit against Brunell. We'll check it after this play. Flag down. Brunell to the sideline for Cooley, incomplete.
Got 2 flags on that play, Dick. Looked like he got a holding penalty, quite possibly by John Jansen, the right tackle for the Redskins as well.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation, offense. Wide receiver covered up the tight end. That penalty is declined. Holding, number 45 of the offense. That penalty is accepted. 10 yards, it's still first down.
Mike Sellers with a hold.
Well, Dick, there's a reason why this game's not for everybody. It's a very physical game and at times can be quite violent. You look at that hit that Kirk Morrison puts on Mark Brunell, actually knocks out his earpiece. I mean, that's how quarterbacks get hurt. That's how you get concussions in this league, if you don't take care of yourself and get down and protect yourself.
And Brunell doesn't have the legs he did as a rookie, a scrambler out of Washington, and took a mean hit there. So after the penalty, first down and 20. Portis off the right side to the 45-yard line, a gain of 4. Kirk Morrison and company with the stop. He leads the Raiders, 71 tackles coming in.
Well, if you're Norv Turner and Rob Ryan, the one thing you don't want to see is old number 26, Clinton Portis, get going. He can put 100 on you pretty quickly.
He's got 40 so far on 10 carries. Fake to Portis, and then they screen it back to Cooley, 40, and he's hit, spins to the 35, which will leave the Redskins about 6 yards shy of a first down. Morrison and Jasper with Richie Tongue on the tackle.
A little double screen. You'll see Brunell come out, fake the screen to his left, wheel back to his right. Patient Chris Cooley gives his blockers a chance out in front. I'll tell you what, you talk about big return for your investment. Chris Cooley, a 3rd-round pick. Look at the production this guy's had. This guy's playing as well as any tight end / H-back in the league.
Played at Utah State. So third down, Brunell steps up, guns the ball, complete. Santana Moss has his first catch of the day, and a first down for the Redskins.
You just watch Santana Moss come right at you on the sidelines. Mark Brunell kind of sprints out to his left. Great throw down the sideline. Santana Moss likes the matchup versus Nnamdi Asomugha. He thinks he's a lot quicker and he can make the big guy really work him, not only in the slot, but on the outside edge.
Only 2 yards behind Steve Smith of Carolina and yards receiving on the season. Now it's Portis. High knee drive inside the 25, a yellow flag down. 3 of them are deep in the Raiders secondary. Warren Sapp, the loquacious one. not too happy today as Miami Hurricanes upset by Georgia Tech last night.
Too many men. Defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. It'll still be first down.
Well, you talk about the mistakes. They're just killing this football team. And you say the same old Raiders, again, last in the National Football League in penalties, last in yards, not creating many opportunities. And it's really one of the reasons why this football team is 3-6. They just can't get over the hump. Keep making these mistakes, and that particular mistake's not a physical mistake, just a mental mistake. Got too many guys on the field.
Is that a player's fault or an assistant coach's fault?
Somebody's got to accept responsibility for it. Starts with the coaching staff.
First down and 5. Portis skips outside. Nice move. Skids outside, and another flag down. Goodness.
Usually when you get one on the end of the line of scrimmage, it's usually holding against this offense. And with far too many penalties for Washington's offense as well.
Number 88 of the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's still first down.
Robert Royal, the tight end, trying to seal the corner.
You watch them on the edge. They actually have a double team. Tyler Brayton's trying to split it. Just gets some cloth and grabs at the end, and the officials never miss that one on the end of the line of scrimmage. They're standing right there. They always make that call.
Joe Gibbs, chatting with him yesterday, said he really is pleased with the team. He's disappointed in the penalties, the turnover ratio. He said it's amazing we're 5-4 when we're a -11 in the differential.
And it just doesn't add up for this Redskins football team.
Brunell wide open underneath is Taylor Jacobs. Jacobs playing because David Patton, the regular wide receiver, knee surgery this week, placed on IR. Jacobs from the University of Florida. That's his 3rd catch of the year.
It's been a big transition, a big adjustment for Joe Gibbs, who was out of football for 11 years. When we talked to him yesterday, he said this offense, this National Football League, 30% turnover every year as far as adjustments and changes. And he said he essentially was starting over a year ago as a head coach.
That last tackle was made by Chris Carr. That's how desperate the Raiders are in their deep secondary. Carr, the kick returner, playing defense. Inside the handoff to Rock Cartwright, the 4-year runner out of Kansas State. You got to look low to find him. He weighs 215, but only 5'7" and that's his 12th carry of the year, giving Clinton Portis a spell because Liddell Betts, normally the backup to Portis, and a good one, 222 yards on the year, and had a kickoff return touchdown. Betts on the sidelines with a knee injury, so Cartwright gets a chance. Played at Kansas State. 3rd and 8. Brunell spins one down the middle for a first down. It's to James Thrash, and a flag down after the catch. Chuck, that was Santana Moss with that low skidding catch. Now the penalty.
Illegal contact. Number 22 in the defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Ronaldo Hill, but naturally Joe Gibbs will take the play, and Mark Brunell's throw to Moss, a first down deep in the Raider end, 14 yards on the play.
You look at the way they attack this 2-deep coverage. They see the 2-deep. They're just going to work inside on Ronaldo Hill. Santana Moss does a great job just sitting down in the hole, and Mark Brunell is able to hit him.
First down at the 12, a 14-yard gain. Portis back in the lineup, showing his patience, and he's squeezing that ball with both hands on that carry. Morrison, another tackle for the Raiders. Yeah, Washington in the red zone now. That's pretty good production. 11 out of 15 trips in, a touchdown.
Yeah, they've been a lot more efficient red zone team, and one of the reasons why is they're able to run the ball down here on this part of the field where it's so difficult to throw the ball in such a short field.
9 minutes to go in the half. 7-3. Washington leads. Driving for more. Portis toppled at the 6-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and about 4.
One of the things that impresses you about Joe Gibbs and this Redskin coaching staff is they are patient with their play calls as well. They're going to give Clinton Portis his opportunities, his carries. He's as patient a play caller as Clinton Portis is as a runner. He's going to give him his opportunities, especially in this part of the field.
You like to run the football. Joe Gibbs is your coach. Ask John Riggins. 12th play of this drive, aided by several Raider penalties. The throw to the end zone, incomplete. Up high for the attempt was Robert Royal, who has only 9 catches all year, the lanky tight end. Brunell throwing under pressure, a little too tall.
Sometimes you get stuck on the wrong hash. That ball was in the left hash. Mark Brunell, being a left-handed quarterback, probably felt more comfortable with him coming out to his left. They just ran out of field on that sideline. Pretty good job by the Raiders secondary staying at home.
Sean Hall, back from injury, is a perfect 6 for 6, and this is a short 24-yard attempt. And the Redskins add to their lead, 10-3. Yeah, some Raiders in attendance, but obviously it's partisan crowd here for the Redskins. They'll go 13 plays, 44 yards, 20 Oakland penalties on 3 accepted calls, aiding the cause for Washington. 10-3. Chris Carr with Doug Gabriel on a wing. Hall in the warm-ups was not showing a lot of length on his kicks. This one spins short. Up to the 12 for Carr. And he returns to the 32-yard line, where Kerry Campbell, 16 special team tackles on the year, adds 1 to his count. Timeout, midpoint, 2nd quarter. Comparison rating, a paltry 3.1 rating for Collins on 2 for 8 and 30 yards. Brunell much more successful, as from the 31 the Raiders put it in play. Fake screen left, roll right, nobody there, throw it away. Let's go down to Armin Katayan.
You know, Rich, you were talking about Joe Gibbs really out of the game for 12 years. The question is, can I do mine? Back to you, Dick.
That goes back to Snyder when he was 16 years old. That was the first year that Gibbs coached here in his first tenure. Collins to the sideline, complete to Moss, who steps out of bounds, and as he came back, his momentum took him from a first down right to the yardstick. It's enough for the first down.
Well, they bring the pressure here. Kerry Collins does the right thing. He works away from the pressure. You see Walt Harris in his back pedal. Randy Moss has not run particularly well the last month. Collins does a nice job stepping up in the pocket. But when you give this guy time, it's when he's at his best. The pressure is what really gets him out of his game.
Ronaldo Wynn applying the pressure. Moss coming back for the ball, got out of bounds right at the stick. First down at the 41. Jordan. He is a bull when he gets to full speed, and has appeared to be another first down, 10 yards, as Lamar Marshall and Sean Taylor team up on the tackle.
Yeah, the Raiders taking a page out of the Redskins book, running some of these bounce plays. See Lamont Jordan start up inside, bounce it outside, and this guy's been everything they could ask for. He's obviously, we talked about in the open, he's their leading rusher, but he's also their leading receiver. He's been a complete player for the Raiders so far this season.
He served his apprenticeship 4 years backing up Curtis Martin with the Jets, and he credits Martin for being his mentor. And just like Martin, he knows how to get first downs.
Part of the problem with this Raider offense, week 11 of the season, they talk about the commitment to run the ball more and more, but Lamont Jordan's only averaging about 17 carries a game. He really needs to be up there in the 25, 26 range for him to get comfortable and for them to have production from their run game.
Fullback John Paul Fasci in motion. Collins wants to go deep. It's Moss. Incomplete, covered by Sean Taylor. We saw Moss slow up a bit to try to shield Taylor from the ball, but couldn't get to it himself. Reminder, you can log on to NFL.com each week. Bill Sims, Boomer Esiason, 232 pounds, only 22 in his second year out of Miami of Florida. Sean Taylor. He can cover, and oh, can he hit. Delay, and it's Jordan. Nothing in the center of the line is Marcus Washington and the entire front four there to greet him.
I think one of the important things to realize, if you're Kerry Collins in this system of football under Norv Turner, you're going to get opportunities. There's going to be big play opportunities in the passing game, and one of the things that's really hurt the Raiders is Norv's given him some opportunities on early downs, on first and second down, and that play we looked at a few moments ago, he just can't bring himself to get off a primary receiver and check it down in those situations, so they're not forced with these long third down situations.
3rd and 8, both Porter and Moss to the right side. Porter yet to catch a pass. Collins way over the mark. Alvis Whitted on single coverage. Carlos Rogers, the #1 draft pick of the Redskins, 9th player selected in the last draft out of Auburn, on the coverage.
Find a way to make plays. Norv Turner told us the other day this is a team that has not done enough of that so far this year.
Leckler to punt it to James Thrash. You saw how he dropped that ball with the nose straight down to give it that backward spin, and Thrash doesn't give it a chance to hit the turf. He fair catches at the 13. Timeout. 10-3 here in Washington. 13-yard line. Brunell and the Redskins. The only touchdown on an interception return by linebacker Lamar Marshall for Washington. Clinton Portis, the workhorse, cutting back, and finally dumped at the 20-yard line after a good first down run. Stuart Schweigert made the stop. He claims to have added weight. He's up over 220 pounds. Doesn't look that big. Right back to Portis. And he can't get around the corner as Bobby Hamilton had to sit out last week. Has been on the sidelines with an ankle injury, and his return welcomed by the Oakland Raiders.
Very unique way of calling plays here in Washington. You see Jack Burns up there with Don Bro, 2 veteran guys that have been around Joe Gibbs. They actually working together, call plays down to Joe Gibbs on the sidelines. They actually get some input from Joe Bugle, the offensive line coach. So it's kind of a collaborative effort calling plays offensively for the Redskins.
Yeah, that quartet's been together a long time. So 3rd and 6, Brunell drops back into the shotgun. Rolls against his throwing arm and then fires to the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Moss. So the Redskins unable to pick up the first down, and the Raiders, with that good stand, will inherit what would appear to be the glory days of Gibbs' 3 Super Bowl champions for Washington, and now they're the dirtbags, that offensive line of Joe Bugles. Beloved line coach. Short kick. Parr. He's at the 50, 45, and the Raiders will start from the Washington 40-yard line. 31-yard punt, 8 on the return.
So far, this secondary's done a nice job playing a lot more coverage as a result of it.
4:03 left in the first half. Raiders at the 41, down by a touchdown. To the sidelines to Porter. Is it ruled a catch? Yes. Porter with a nice move to the sideline. That's his second catch. Walt Harris covering.
Pretty good job on the sidelines by Jerry Porter. What we're seeing a lot more now with the Redskins are starting to roll coverage to Randy Moss. So they're playing 2-on-1 to Randy Moss and giving Jerry Porter a little bit more 1-on-1 coverage. See if the Raiders will take advantage of that.
Moss out of the lineup now with Whithead to the right, Porter to the left. Lamont Jordan runs into his own blocker. Momentum stopped, and then the surge by the defense of the Redskins.
Kerry Collins trying to make plays and to show that frustration, and it's just debilitating to a football team.
2nd and 9. He goes to Moss in this attempt. Moss falls down, incomplete. He probably wouldn't have gotten there anyway.
saw this a little bit last week. Raider receivers slipping, falling down, not being able to make some plays, dropping some critical opportunities.
He does look as if he's running more freely than he was last Sunday.
Yeah, he does look a lot better. He looks stronger and just slips coming out of this cut. Actually cuts on his outside foot rather than his inside foot. Something you wouldn't expect to see from a veteran receiver like Randy Moss.
Sean Taylor had anticipated the move. As you see the two Mosses, Santana with 2 catches and Randy with just a single. Oakland's going to burn its second timeout with 2:51 showing on the clock. And the 7-yard line. Third and long. Moss in motion. Collins into the shotgun. Good protection. To the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Porter. Sean Taylor had position.
You almost get the sense that some of these Raider receivers, you know, when they sense coverage, almost feel like they're not going to get the ball. I saw Jerry Porter at the top of that route almost take the rest of the play off, not realizing that Kerry Collins was going to throw it up to him. Not the effort you want to see out of your receivers if you're Kerry Collins.
So Janikowski out. This a 45-yard attempt. It is off the upright, no good. It looked as if it was going to draw back, kiss the yellow pole. No points for the Raiders. So he's now missed 6 out of 21 this year. So good field position inherited by Washington at the 35 on the miss. Portis dragging tacklers for 4. Bobby Hamilton down low was there first on the hit. And 3 Washington NFL. Expectations on any player than a field goal kicker. They're expected to make them all. So the 45-yard miss hitting the upright. Disappointment not only for Janikowski but the Raider team. Now Brunell with 2 timeouts left before halftime, and it's to Portis. Look at those moves. Clever in the open field and out to the 47-yard line and a first down. Up to 63 yards rushing in this opening half. Brunell, he's going deep. His longest throw of the game is way too long. Taylor Jacobs was well covered. From the Asamoah. One would think they'd like to get the ball down to about the 25-yard line for him to have a shot, and Washington uses its second timeout and have to spend it. Brunell and the Redskins 2nd and 10 at the Washington 48. 1 timeout left. Minute 22 before the end of the half. On the blitz, and they threw it away, did Brunell. He had a man close enough. It was Portis, Jared Cooper, and Derek Burgess coming in on Rob Ryan's Santana Moss to the left side, and Taylor Jacobs right. Crash in the slot. Good protection. Now Brunell tempted to run. Now he throws complete. Chris Cooley and a first down. Brunell did not.
Steps up. He's moving around. He's scrambling around making plays. And Mark Brunell looks like his old self.
They want to save the timeout in case they have to go for the field goal. Back to Portis, and Portis eating up yardage is to the 27, and now they have a reasonable chance if they don't gain another yard for their kicker. No timeouts now, 34 seconds remaining. Cooley in motion. The pump. And the throwaway. Good coverage by the Raiders defense.
26 is from that cornerback spot.
Brock Cartwright in the game. With Moss in motion. Looked like Moss was offside. Brunell down the middle. Not caught. Tough chance. Excellent try, but unable to pull it in was James Thrash. Looked like Moss was out of the blocks prematurely.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because Mark Brunell had James Thrash working down the middle of the field. A better throw gets this done. Thrash just not able to pull.
He caught it, apparently. Backfield in motion, or illegal motion by Moss. For short. We're going to call it a 46-yard attempt. The punter Frost to hold. It is good. He drove it low and through.
Practice squad, these guys get more time obviously in the second half because of this injury.
Paul just bounces one low. Carr scoops it up like a outfielder and then takes it to the 34-yard line with a left pick by the Redskins at quarterback in the first round. And Collins with a kneel down, and that'll do it for this opening half. The offense unable to produce a touchdown for either team. The big play has been the defense that is dominated on both sides, and the Redskins particularly with a 17-yard touchdown by Marshall to open the game, and the only touchdown of that opening half, 13-3. So for the Raiders, you know the guys in the huddle, how do you generate some offense?
Well, they need to generate offense. The thing that concerns me is the only 30 rushing yards. They have not been good on third down, 1 of 7. They need more production from the offense. I really believe they need more production from Kerry Collins. He needs to kind of get going in the second half. He's not done a very good job of distribution. You look at the middle of the field, he hasn't really done much at all. Not using his tight end, Courtney Anderson at all, or even Jerry Porter or Randy Moss. They need to move these receivers around, get them in positions where they can make some plays, but Kerry Collins has to find a way to make more plays for this offense.
Not only 0 for 4 on passes over the middle, it was one of those that was picked off by Lamar Marshall when it was thrown right to him, and the linebacker breezed into the end zone for the score. Hall pumping some life into the football as he kicks it off, and Oakland will get the first opportunity here in the second half. Chris Carr, kid from Reno, Nevada, who returned 3 kicks for touchdowns at Boise State. The rookie awaits another chance. Hall lifts this one, and it's taken on the run at the 12. He does challenge as he comes up through the wedge, tackled at the 37, and we go down to Armin.
Well, thank you, Dick. You know, normally the very cooperative Norv Turner, not in a talking mood, upset, one would suspect, with the penalties and the missed opportunities. As for Joe Gibbs, he said simply, it's a battle. He goes, I love the field position game so far and the way my defense is playing. As for James Thrash, he is still in the locker room being evaluated. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thank you. And here are the Raiders and Kerry Collins starting from their own 39-yard line. Randy Moss to the right, and Jordan up the middle for about 3 before Ronaldo Wynn and Marcus Washington can bring him down. Well, you fantasy players, here's a look at the top numbers. Not many offensive numbers. Got an interception from Collins, and only 4 out of 15, and Brunell not much better, 76 yards. There's your man Portis with 70 yards rushing. Jordan with 31, and Cooley, the H-back, 4 catches for 50 yards, continues to be very productive. Second down, the swing pass to Jordan. Tackled as he skids over the 45 to the 47-yard line. Walt Harris at the corner with a low tackle. It'll be 3rd and a long 2.
Well, Randy Moss not made a lot of contributions to this offense. I really believe this guy needs to kind of get going in the second half. He really needs to help out his quarterback, really work in his routes, push himself. I know he hasn't been healthy the last month, but this is a huge game for the Raiders. He needs to find a way to come up with some big plays here in the second half.
1 for 7. Collins on 3rd down, and he gets the first down here by going to Moss, just setting up at the 49 of Washington, and a strike thrown by Collins.
This is the thing we talked about last week as well. The end of the route, you watch him catch the ball, and he almost falls down in the fetal position. This is not the Randy Moss that I'm accustomed to seeing. He made so many big plays over the years after the catch. That's where this guy really comes to life, and that's not what you're seeing from Randy Moss anymore.
He was injured 5 games ago against San Diego, ribs and hip on a tough tackle and a hit trying to catch a ball. Collins double pumps and then goes long for a touchdown to Moss. No, it's Porter. Jerry Porter turning to the left side, was looking over his right shoulder, and the last minute able to whip his head around, find the ball on a terrific throw by Collins that brings life to Oakland hopes.
Well, it's just the way you want to start if you're the Raiders in the second half. Come out with a big play. You watch Porter at the top. This is unbelievable adjustment. He actually wheels his head around to find this ball. Not many receivers can do that. Great catch, great concentration by Jerry Porter.
His 4th touchdown reception of the year, and the Raiders back in the game as Janikowski adds the extra point. 13-10 Washington, and this is the Raiders of old playing long ball. Collins pitching and Porter catching. Well, Norv Turner wants the big play, and he finally gets one. A 49-yard touchdown, Collins to Porter. Praised all week long by Joe Gibbs and the Washington players as a brilliant offensive mind. He always has been a terrific coordinator and caller of plays. Parson having trouble holding on to the ball, and pays the price at the 15-yard line as Randall Williams and Scott Schweigert there for the tackle.
You go back and look at the touchdown. Washington playing their 2-deep coverage. You see the safeties here. The responsibility is the Mike linebacker running down the middle of the field. We clear it. You watch Jerry Porter in the slot. Lamar Marshall gets matched up with him. This is just too much to ask for a linebacker. The protection is really what gets the thing done. You look at the job, the offensive line, Jake Grove and Ron Stone, the job they're doing on Joe Salavea. They're just beating him up. They're giving Kerry Collins plenty of time to make that throw.
Look at the fun they have in the middle of the line. Now from the 15, Brunell. The Washington lead down to 3. He goes for Moss. And the big play receiver of the Redskins delivers out to the 42 between Schweigert and Fabian Washington.
Wow, it was just a matter of time. Santana Moss working on the cornerback one-on-one. Looked like Fabian Washington was looking for help from safety. Doesn't happen till late. Schweigert trying to get over there. Mark Brunell does a nice job getting it up and down in between that 2-deep coverage.
That's the 12th catch of 25 yards or more by Santana Moss to lead the NFL. 27 on that play. H-back Cooley in motion. Fake to Portis. And hit in the backfield. Brunell as Derek Burgess around the corner has his 8th sack of the season.
Well, you're starting to see this Raider defensive line get off a little bit. Rob Ryan real excited about the acquisition of Derek Burgess. Just a mismatch on the tight end. Robert Royal, he just beats him to the quarterback. Mark Brunell tries to step up, but Derek Burgess has been a great player for the Raiders this year. 8 sacks, and he's really come on off the edge, creating a lot of disruption in the opponent's backfield.
Yeah, Burgess has a lot to play for, a lot of family here. He went to high school nearby, Greenbelt, Maryland. On 2nd and 19, the quick throw to Moss. And he's tackled after a short pickup by Nnamdi Asamoah.
Sacks are so devastating for offenses. It's almost impossible to overcome them and try and convert on 3rd downs. You get pushed so far back in the down and distance. Now you look at the Redskins, it's very difficult for Joe Gibbs to try and call plays in this situation. You look down at your script, you don't have a ton of calls on a 3rd and 14. Obviously concerned about protection here. Probably a coverage situation for the Raiders.
Raiders lined up with a 4-man front on 3rd and 14. Brunell rolling and then throwing deep down the middle. Almost intercepted as it went through the hands of Taylor Jacobs. Schweigert, and they're going to throw a penalty flag. Schweigert has to be upset. He was going for the ball, and the defender has a right to attack the catch as much as the receiver. And Norv Turner can't believe it. Bob Ryan saying that's exactly what I want my defensive player to do. He's saying that
number 30 of the defense. Ball will be placed in the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Well, that's a difficult one. You know, you see Brunell roll out to his right, throws back across the field. Schweigert actually in a pretty good position there. I don't really see that. He's trying to come over the top and make the plays, trying to avoid. He's trying to avoid Taylor Jacobs the best he can.
That was a good play. A 31-yard penalty, and Schweigert did exactly what a defender has to do. He has a right to go for the ball. And there, it looked like the ball was free, and if it is, the Raiders say they've got it. They were digging down low, no signal officially yet. Officials looking at each other and no one making a call.
That's the thing that bothers you more than anything. That's what bothers you more than anything if you're a player on the field, the uncertainty from the officials.
Bobby Hamilton able to rake the ball away, and the Raiders come up with a fumble recovery.
That's twice.
So a timeout, 10:37 left in the third, a three-point game. And welcome back, turnover to the Raiders as that problem continues for the Redskins. A -11 coming in. Lamont Jordan straight forward for 4. Let's go back to the fumble, and how did the ball come out?
You go look at these defensive players for the Raiders. You know, Ronaldo Hill grabbing at the ball, and Derek Burgess trying to pull that ball out. Just pops out at the end here, but you're Clinton Portis. You got to do a better job, especially in piles. That's where this stuff happens. Guys are grabbing and clawing, trying to get that ball out. Clinton Portis, that's twice today, and Raiders really starting to make some plays defensively.
And Hamilton's return to the defense has been key today. He's had several outstanding plays. Collins over the middle, tackled immediately, tight end Courtney Anderson. Nearly a first down at the 39.
It's just what we talked about, working the middle of the field a little bit more and getting Courtney Anderson involved in the game, their tight end. A young guy that has only had 15 catches coming into this game. That's something I like to see the Raiders do more of. Work that tight end against these linebackers and some of these zone coverages. Let him work the inside, something that so many other teams in the National Football League do, and do quite well.
Close enough that they will measure. You saw Joe Gibbs ruining the fact that his running back Clinton Portis had not lost a fumble all year, has coughed it up twice today.
It's one of the first things that Joe Gibbs does. He talked to us the other day about the first thing he shows on films on Monday are film clips of turnovers and penalties. He realizes that's something he needs to reinforce with his football team. And the average turnover in the National Football League equates to about 4.9 points. A fumble's 4.5, and interceptions 5.5. And that's just what we're seeing today. Most of the points today are coming off of turnovers for both of these football teams.
Interception touchdown for the Redskins. A field goal after a fumble. Collins dumps it off to Jordan in the flat. Flag down, and Jordan banged around like a pinball and dumped at the 43 by Harris and Marshall. The flag was thrown where Collins threw the ball.
Number 76 in the offense. The 10-yard penalty. It's still first down.
Robert Gallery, the #1 pick, the big right tackle for the Raiders, guilty of the 7th Raider penalty for 71 yards.
Well, when you hold the ball that long, it's very tough if you're a right tackle trying to hold up in protection all day. And it's going against Philip Daniels, a guy that gets a lot of push off the edge. Robert Gallery has his work cut out today, blocking Demetri Gibbons and Philip Daniels. Guys that are bouncing around that defensive line for the Redskins. Half. Looking at that last play off the play action, one of the first things he's going to do is try and find Randy Moss, and Randy Moss actually gets up on the secondary, goes right by Sean Taylor, and Kerry Collins just can't find him. You see the frustration from Moss on the sidelines.
Third down and 17. This crowd making a lot of noise. Collins down the middle. What a catch by Porter. Just as he adjusted on the touchdown grab, he was looking right and had to spin And like a catcher saving a pass ball, able to reach out and snare that catch, and a first down with it.
Well, you know, coverage works hand in hand with the pass rush. Redskins not generating a great pass rush there. You see Porter working up the field. Unbelievable catch behind his body. That's something you're seeing these receivers starting to do now, making some great catches. That's 2 for Porter today, making awkward catches behind his body to help this Raiders offense.
4 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown for Porter, giving a breather. Jordan stop and start, and that's usually fatal for a defense like he faces today. And Dimitri Gevins.
He added them, and it seems like it's working. These guys are coming out playing. Better tempo. Seems like they're getting after it and playing certainly with more confidence.
Turner, 7 years the coach here in Washington. 2000 with a 7-6 record. He was fired late in the season by the Washington management. 2nd and 10. Deep out, caught by Moss and knocked out of bounds around the 20-yard line. Sean Taylor was in perfect position for an interception. How did the ball get through to Moss?
Well, this is unbelievable. You know, I like Randy Moss. I think he's a great player, but you watch this effort. He's just jogging up the field, doesn't think he's going to get the ball. Kerry Collins winds up throwing it. This is a ball that should be picked off. The Raiders are very fortunate here, but this is the thing you don't want to put on film. Don't take plays off. Play every play. Your team's fighting, trying to get back in this game. You need your best effort each and every play.
They spot the ball at the 24, a 26-yard gain to Moss. First down for Collins and the Raiders. To Porter. Was he in bounds? No. Tried to drag his toes. He has made some absolutely acrobatic plays today on almost another.
Well, I played with this guy, and he is a very talented guy. He can make a lot of great plays, very athletic, and you look at the effort here. Well, that was really close. I don't think he just got that back foot in.
Dotted the chalk.
Look at that right foot. He's trying to drag it.
There. The left.
They're going after Sean Springs on that right sideline. That's twice now.
And the red flag tossed by Norv Turner. Apparently his coach is upstairs and looking at the replay. Thought that Porter did get both toes down.
Well, that was close.
Is there evidence that will overrule the on-field call?
What's going to be in question is his right foot. Definitely
Oakland
gets his left foot in. He's trying to drag that right foot. Boy, it's right on the line.
Collins to Porter. Will it be a catch? We'll find out after this word. Dennis Stone is going to magnify the sideline shot. Let's see. There's the left foot.
The left foot is definitely in. The question is the right foot. And boy, that is really close.
Yeah, from that angle, I don't think there's enough evidence to overturn the on-field call.
It's got to be conclusive, and that's going to be the call right now. Whether or not it's enough to overturn it, I don't know that it is.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Oakland is charged a timeout.
Well, I think it's worth a shot anyway if you're Norv Turner and the Raiders. It's a great effort by Jerry Porter, though.
Well, he's made some plays when it appeared that had no chance of being a catch and to come that close. So they lose a timeout to the Raiders. And it's 2nd and 10. At the 25. .6:24 left in the third. Fake to Jordan. Down the middle. And not close. Jerry Porter was the intended target. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Dick, thank you. In Tennessee, Jacksonville pulled even with the Titans. Tennessee back on top. Byron Leftwich loses it. Antoine Odom picks it up, returns 27 yards for a touchdown. 21-14, Tennessee, 6.5 to play in the third.
Jeff Fisher's Tennessee Titans, although 2-7 on the season, they are a tough opponent. Indianapolis, you'll see them later. Can they go 10-0 at Cincinnati, or will the Bengals end the streak? 3rd and 10 here for Collins. Dump into the flat to Jordan. Flag is down. And so is Jordan at the 22. Sean Springs makes the tackle. Now the penalty. If it's against the Raiders, could push Oakland deeper and make a field goal by Janikowski, who's already missed from 45. A big challenge.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 67 of the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty, and it's still 3rd down.
Ron Stone ticketed for a big one, 15, and that takes the Raiders out of field goal position all the way to the 40-yard line.
Well, it's devastating in that part of the field, in that situation, just not understanding what's Ron Stone. He's your right guard. He gets right up in the face of Ronaldo Wynn, and they just call it. And maybe at the end, piling on as well, but boy, just not understanding the situation. Kerry Collins does a nice job checking it down, protecting the field goal, and then of course you get backed up. Just kills you.
This is where the Raiders would be content to just get a good 10-yard completion. They not try to get it all, and Collins is going to be dumped by Chris Clemens. Clemens, the second-year backer from Georgia, has his 2nd sack of the season.
You just watch him working up the field on Gallery. Gallery struggled the last couple plays, and Clemens just beats him inside. Kerry Collins trying to step up at the same time and falls right into the arms of Chris Clemens.
Well, the Raiders within 42-yard field goal attempt, instead move backward on penalties and the sack. Fair catch, Santana Moss at the 10-yard line. The Redskins defense holds up, and they maintain the 3-point lead. Where the Washington Redskins able to hold on to a 3-point lead when the Raiders appeared to be at least in field goal range, but self-destructed on that last drive. Now Brunell takes over at the 10. Gives to Portis. Dragged down after a gain of about 3.5. And our first half of the doubleheader. We're pleased you're with us, and what a game coming up. The unbeaten Colts at Cincinnati. The Bengals are 7-2. What a game that should be. Some of you will see Jets at Denver, and others Buffalo out at San Diego. Warren Sapp currently on the sidelines for the Raiders at Jasper 95, but they're just giving him a series off. Brunell, quick out, complete. Taylor Jacobs seeing some duty today. Had only 2 catches all season. Shy of the first down. Well, on the NFL Today, beating the Colts, Dan said you have to get pressure on Peyton, start blitzing him. No one's been able to do it so far. How about the Bengals? Beating the Colts, Boomer, take advantage of Indy's small defensive line, run Big Rudy right at him. And who wins the NFC East? 2 votes for Washington, although they're in 2nd place behind Dallas and the Giants, and Dan likes the Cowboys. On 3rd down, Brunell. Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run for it and scrambles for the first down. And again, didn't slide, goes head first, despite that hellacious head-to-head, helmet-to-helmet contact in the 2nd quarter.
Well, this is just a great job by Mark Brunell, understanding the situation, and not only that, but knowing where the sticks are. You see him pull the ball down. Like to see him do a better job putting it away. There he does it at the end, but knowing exactly where those sticks are to get that first down.
To the 23-yard line. 3:48 left in the 3rd quarter. Total yards almost identical. Back to Portis. Stretches White. That's the play they love, and it's good for almost another first down. Asamoah and Morrison with a tackle.
Now, you don't get the impression that Clinton Portis is running tentative after putting the ball on the ground twice. This guy is a tough runner. He comes right back with a lot of confidence. It's tough to get in the head of Clinton Portis. This guy is such a polished runner. He's been in a lot of big games over the years, and just seems like he gets stronger as the game goes on. And 20 carries for 84 yards. He's on his way to another 100-yard effort here today.
He's only 24 years old, 4th year in the league. out of Miami of Florida. Second and short. Portis has the first down and more. Out to the 36-37 yard line. Jacksonville and Tennessee. Greg Gumbel updates.
Dick, they're all even again in Nashville. Byron Leftwich, 18 yards to Ernest Wilford, corner of the end zone, pulls it in. 21-21, under 4 minutes to play in the third.
Well, it's the rage in the NFL. The tall receiver and Wilford at 6'4", able to go up high to get the Jacksonville team the touchdown. First down here for Washington. 2:20. They don't mind chewing up a lot of clock with a 3-point lead. Flag down as Brunell sets up and throws into the flat. And horse-collared Jared Cooper on Clinton Portis. Cooper being used more and more with all the injuries in the back line. You know, Derek Gibson is out for the
Illegal
season,
motion,
the safety.
84 the offense. At penalties decline. Second down.
Jacobs with the illegal motion, and all-pro, 4-time Pro Bowler Charles Woodson has been out.
Young Raiders secondaries hung in there. A lot of young guys playing, as we talked about. These guys are competing. Norv told us they don't know any better. They just want to go out there and play and not worry about making mistakes. Just try and compete, have fun, and try and help their football team win games.
Brock Cartwright in the backfield with Brunell in the shotgun on 2nd and 16. Cartwright tripped up as he saw some daylight, but slicing low was Ronaldo Hill to trip him up.
Well, this is a scary play if you're Ronaldo Hill. You watch him on the corner. He's got 2 big linemen coming at him, does the next best thing. Throws his body in there trying to make a play, winds up making a big play on that run to Cartwright. Not an easy thing if you're Ronaldo Hill. Not a big guy, not a very physical guy, but he's getting more and more opportunities because of the injury to Charles Woodson.
His brother Ray Hill played at Michigan State as he did, and also with New England, Miami, and Buffalo in the NFL. 198 each, total yards. Third down. Down the middle, complete to Cartwright. Tough catch in traffic, and the tackle made by veteran Reggie Tongue.
Wow, was that a great catch. Boy, not what you'd expect from a running back out of the backfield. That's unbelievable. What a great throw by Mark Brunell, but watch this extension by Cartwright, and he takes a big hit at the end of it, and he's still able to hold on. That's a good luxury to have out of the backfield when your star running back, Clinton Portis, comes out for a blow.
Only 5'7", Rock Cartwright up high to pick off that 17-yard play on third down and the first down. They chewed up a lot of time here in the third quarter on this possession. It's Cartwright again, and 2 or 3 yards, and that probably is going to do it for the third period here at FedEx Field, where the Washington Redskins cling to a 13-10 lead. Will return after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, America's most watched network. And for fans of football, they love to watch the Redskins, who are unbeaten at home, 4-0. Lead by 3 as we open the fourth quarter, and Brunell rears back and throws it long. Well covered, and Schweigert comes up with the ball out of bounds. No interception. Asamoah helping out on the coverage of Santana Moss, but Schweigert right there as well, the safety.
Well, you watch the coverage. Asamoah knows he has help over the top from Stuart Schweigert. Santana Moss gets up on his backside. A little bump at the end, but Stuart Schweigert just can't get both feet in bounds. Probably a throw Mark Brunell would like to have back.
You can see why the Raiders loved Fabian Washington, who played at Nebraska. He was their #1 pick. He had a 4.29 40 at the NFL Combine, the fastest of any DB. And Brunell, running out of playtime, uses Washington's first timeout in the second half. FedEx Field, a third down, big play, 3rd and 7 for the Redskins and Brunell at the Raider 49. Redskins are 4-0 this season when leading after 3, and they lead by 3 now. Brunell stepping up, throws it long. And a beautiful coverage on Taylor Jacobs by Nnamdi Asamoah. Stayed right with his man.
We're trying to pick on Asamoah, but He's done a nice job staying with these receivers. That's the double move that he's been victimized by the last couple of weeks, and he does a nice job not biting on that, staying with the receiver, making a big play at the top of that route.
Yeah, Rod Smith of the Broncos burned him last weekend for a touchdown, but Asamoah, University of California, Berkeley, learning on the job. Very Cross to punt. Chris Carr says stay away from it. What a bounce. Beautiful. Frost rolls it to the 6-yard line. 14:35 to go. No wonder tonight on CBS, America's most watched network. This is how the game began, with Collins and the Raiders deep in their own end. He threw an interception to Lamar Marshall, who took it in 17 yards for a touchdown, and that is the only touchdown for the Redskins today. Lamont Jordan tries the middle of the line and picks up about 4 in the arms of Philip Daniels and Ryan Clark.
I really believe that in order for the Raiders to have a chance in this game, Lamont Jordan's going to have to touch the ball about 25 times a game, and it's still right there in front of him if you're the Raiders. Get this guy going, get him some carries, get control of this game by running the football and keeping Kerry Collins out of long situations on 3rd down.
17 carries, 45 yards for Jordan, who gets the ball again but runs into his own man. But that was because LeVar Arrington had pushed the blocker right into the hole. Not much there, and Joe Salavea cleans it up.
Well, it's been a difficult season so far for LeVar Arrington. Almost a humbling experience. You know, he's been sat down in a lot of football games and finally got his opportunity to start again 2 weeks ago. And it's been difficult for him. He said he's had a more professional approach. He's tried to go back to watching film, not taking things for granted, and it's made a huge difference for him. He's playing with a lot more consistency the last 2 weeks.
Second player in the draft of 2000, picked by Norv Turner. 3rd and 5. Underneath and complete to the big tight end, Courtney Anderson, and it's a first down at the 20. Marcus Washington for Washington on the tackle.
Well, we talked about more production from the tight end position. That's just what we're starting to see in the second half. Courtney Anderson working on Marcus Washington. These are the matchups, these are the battles that the Raiders should win. An athletic tight end on a linebacker, you got to feel good about that matchup. The Raiders make a big conversion there on 3rd down.
He's quite a target at 6'7" and 270. Jordan and Crockett in the backfield on 1st down. Collins dumps it to Jordan. U-turns out to the 25-yard line, a gain of 5. LeVar Arrington made the tackle, and look at Kerry Collins' first 3 quarters compared to the 4th quarter, where he has thrown 7 touchdowns and only 1 interception.
Yeah, the rating of 95.5, and unfortunately he's got the team in bad situations by not playing well. But if there's a saving grace for the Raiders, this guy does get hot and seems to play his best football down the stretch.
13-10, Washington in the lead. Jordan wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Ronaldo win from defensive end.
The defense of the Redskins starting to stiffen up a little bit inside, and just when you think the floodgates are starting to open up, guys like Joe Salavea starting to hanker down and become more effective, more active in that run support defense.
Boy, didn't he have a game against Tampa Bay last Sunday? He comes out as the Redskins anticipate pass, bring in some extra linebacker and defensive back. Down the middle. Porter hangs onto the ball. Oh my! What a display by Jerry Porter, who played his high school ball in Washington, D.C.
Well, one of the shortcomings of the pressure defense, the blitz, you see the Redskins bring the blitz here. If you can pick it up and Collins has enough time, there's some big play opportunities down the middle of the field. Another great example of Jerry Porter making an unbelievable catch in traffic and taking a big hit from Sean Taylor. Porter's really coming on today. A local kid from Coolidge High School here in Washington, D.C. He's playing well in front of the home crowd.
That's a sample of the 232-pound Sean Taylor's hitting power in the deep secondary. First down at the 49. Fake to Jordan. Long ball down the right sideline. Wide open is Doug Gabriel. And Gabriel is inside the 15-yard line. Gabriel left alone along the sidelines, and he's holding his right lower leg, and Payne does not get up. Timeout. 1st and 10 Raiders at the 13-yard line when we return. Doug Gabriel's only catch of the game, 37 yards. He's expected to return. High ankle sprain. 1st down at the 12 for the Raiders, trailing by 3. Jordan. That interior defense led by Killings and Salavea, mighty tough.
Well, you go back and look at the last play, and they put Taylor on an island here. They get speed up inside. You got Moss going up, and you got Gabriel on the outside. That's something Norv Turner does as well as anybody. Strategically putting guys in position to stretch the secondary. Taylor's got to make a decision. He falls back inside. You got Gabriel up on the outside one-on-one with Sean Springs.
1-yard pickup by Jordan on 1st down. 2nd and 9. Well in field goal range, trailing by 3. Collins 4 for 4 passing in the quarter. Looks to the end zone, throws underneath the Porter. Why not? He's caught everything. And another catch, his 6th of the game. That'll put him about the 140-yard mark.
Well, you just watch Collins. You just see his demeanor. He seems like he's so much more comfortable. He's playing with more confidence, making better decisions. It seems like he's finding his receivers quicker.
True to form, Collins in the 4th quarter, perfect 5 for 5, helped out by some marvelous ball catching from Jerry Porter. It's 3rd down and about a half yard just outside the 2. Joe Gibbs sends in some beef. 4 big linemen come in.
Well, you got Zach Crockett in a block, and you got to think they're going to hand the ball downhill to Lamont Jordan.
They're not going to get it off. There's another penalty error. Instead of 3rd and inches, unless they call time, and they might have been able, Norv Turner, to save the 5-yard penalty. That's right, time called. Oakland. Home of the Redskins, 90,000 plus, and they're on their feet to support the defense. Washington has led throughout. A tenuous 3-point advantage. 3rd down and a half yard for the Raiders. Crockett and Jordan. It's Jordan hitting the backfield. What a play! LeVar Arrington guessed right.
Boy, he just read it out the whole way. Running right up through the center guard gap. Pretty much untouched. You talk about an explosive play from LeVar Arrington. No one even touches him. He hits Jordan right in the backfield. Lamont Jordan had no chance in that situation. Great play by LeVar Arrington. You watch him come up the screen.
Janikowski to tie it up, and after missing from 45, he's able to chip it home from 25, and we have a new game. The Raiders and Redskins tied at 13.
Anticipation by LeVar Arrington. He's going to see Brad Badger pull. He hits it right up the A-gap. Hits Lamont Jordan right in the backfield. And talk about a turn of events. Holding them to 3 in that situation was huge for this Redskins defense.
That was a 4-point tackle by Arrington. Game tied at 13. That was an 87-yard drive in 11 plays for the Raiders to get just 3. A reminder, tomorrow on CBS, all new, beginning with TV's hit comedy lineup. The king of the Redskins, who led early on the interception return of 17 yards for a touchdown by Lamar Marshall, find the Raiders rallying to tie at 13. Midway 4th quarter. Brunell on top and tries to hit Taylor Jacobs, and again Asamoah, excellent coverage.
Well, you think about how difficult stiffen up here defensively.
If Ludray had just not taken off the leather helmets back here in yesteryear, they might have been able to do it. Well, no one's been able to do well here on this turf as a visitor. 4-0 the Redskins, and there's Brunell slipping out of the tackle and then throws it away. He saves himself a big loss. Would have been about the 5-yard line. Derek Burgess had invaded again, and he has been putting pressure on Brunell all day.
Well, this is just unexcusable. They don't even block Derek Burgess. Obviously a protection flaw. You would think that Randy Thomas and John Jansen would opened that side to really the Raiders' best pass rusher so far this season. Don't even block him. Mark Brunell's got no chance in that situation.
Drops back into the shotgun. Santana Moss in motion. Brunell flushed. Sapp puts the pressure on. He has to throw it away again.
Well, there's a perfect example there of them guessing wrong. We talked earlier about how the Redskins are so protection conscious in that situation. Gibbs and his staff really was anticipating pressure, and the Redskins only send out 2 guys on the route. Mark Brunell sitting back there with no one to throw it. Raiders only rush 4, drop 7 in coverage. Mark Brunell's trying to find a receiver downfield, just nowhere to throw it.
Both teams with a penchant for the close game all season long, and here we are mid of the 4th quarter, and it's 13-all. Frost punt. Carr at the 37. Ooh, what a block, and Carr had an open shot down the sidelines, but that was going to come back anyway. The block was in the back, and the Redskin that is hit down is not getting up, and some players start to exchange words. Mike Sellers getting hit by Isaiah Ekajuba. 7:27 remaining in the 4th quarter. Raiders with the ball at their 32. Fake to Jordan, and the throw underneath incomplete, off the shoulder pad of Jordan, and almost deflected to one of the Redskins. Marcus Washington and LeVar Arrington were right there.
Well, you think that a guy like Lamont Jordan can make that catch, but I really put that on Kerry Collins. As a quarterback, you realize, and you learn very early on, when you're throwing to backs, when you're throwing to tight ends, you got to be perfect. You got to put it on their front shoulder. You can't anticipate them making catches like Jerry Porter's been making on the back end behind his body. You got to put it on these backs and give them a chance to get into the transition of the run.
Randy Moss to the top of your screen. Gabriel and Porter to the bottom. Back to Jordan, and he burrows for about 2. Philip Daniels and others on the stop.
Well, I like this young back, and I really believe he's becoming a leader for this football team. You know, he was frustrated early in the season with all the penalties and the missed assignments, and he actually told the players that Mondays we're going to run after practice. We're going to get this straightened out. If you come out here and you make a mistake, you jump off sides, we're all going to run together. We're all going to be accountable for our actions, for our mistakes. And he's really developing into a nice leader for this Raider football team.
Saw that graphic, a positive portent for the Raiders when Jordan rushes for over 20 times. 3rd down, underneath to Jordan, incomplete. That was on Jordan. That was right there. Perfect throw, slips through his fingertips.
Well, I'm a little surprised that he didn't throw it to Randy Moss here. He's watching, he's staring it down. He actually comes off Randy Moss, trying to throw it to Lamont Jordan, and a ball he should have caught. But you look up further at the sidelines, Randy Moss is sitting right there on the sideline at the 1st down marker. Kerry Collins just passes him up.
Now, for one of the few times Shane Leckler can deliver all he's got from that right leg, the powerful kicker of the Raiders, with Rich Parson inside the 25. And it's not a good kick. In fact, it's short, but look at the bounce. Even when he does miss hit one, he gets a terrific roll inside the 15-yard line. 53 yards for Leckler. That'll boost it already a brilliant average. Thursday, gang, on Survivor. Illegal touch.
Illegal touching. Number 86 of the offense. Went out of bounds and came back in and touched the football. That's a 5-yard penalty. It'll still be 4th down.
So Randall Williams did. Santana Moss is at the 30. He's playing pretty shallow for the leg that Leckler has. He booms this one, and a fair catch for Moss at the 27. So, and a little wrestling match and a flag down. Sellers goes after the man who blocked him in the back, Isaiah Ekajuba. He had his eyes on number 50, the man who had leveled him on the penalty earlier, but now does it cost the Redskins a penalty?
Wow, this is just not something you want to see.
During the kick, holding, number 45, the receiving team. That 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the kick. First down.
So with a penalty from the 27, the improved position for the Redskins is diluted.
Yeah, you're obviously frustrated, but you got to keep your poise in those situations. Obviously, a guy that knocked him out on the punt return, but hey, you just can't come unglued like that in those situations and put your offense now in a bad situation, backed up in their own end.
They mark it back to the 17-yard line for Mark Brunell, and the Redskins will go to work there with plenty of time. 6:20 just to review the timeout situation. Washington has 2, the Raiders 1 left. Portis with the toss, makes the corner, and then bumped out of bounds at about the 22. Arman, what do you have for us?
Not the brightest play in the world there by Mike Sellers, but I got to say something, Dick. He was in agony on the sidelines there, could barely sit down on the bench with a shot to the ribs and to his back, but then he goes out on the field, makes that rather unfortunate play, but really a tough guy. Back to you.
No question, he was zeroed in on the number 50, the man who had blocked him. 4 yards. Portis on first down. Raiders show blitz. Here they come. And Saps knocks it in the air, incomplete. Or is it Ted Washington? Ted Washington. You don't see him penetrate that far, and the big man fly swats the pass.
Yeah, not really thought of much as a pass blocker, but when you don't block him, even Ted Washington's got a chance to make some plays in the backfield. And
he was going for the ball. He saw 6 points up there.
Pretty athletic play by the big man.
4 times a Pro Bowler, and his dad, of course, was a terrific player as well with the Oilers for 10 years as a linebacker, Ted Sr. Another big third down. Brunell from the shotgun. Throws incomplete behind his intended target, Chris Cooley. And there were 3 Raider jerseys around Cooley.
Well, he's fortunate there. Jared Cooper was in a position to make a play. I don't know that Mark Brunell ever saw him. And you get to the point where you get comfortable with one of your receivers. Obviously, he's got a good relationship with Chris Cooley, a guy that he's made a lot of throws to, a lot of critical throws in third down situations. He just locked in on him in that situation.
So Brunell misses on his last 6 attempts. Here's Derek Frost. High short kick. Chris Carr, fair catch at midfield at the 48 or 49-yard line. 13-13 here. Let's go to New York for an update. Greg, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? 13-13. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati tied in the AFC North, and of course the Bengals about to host the unbeaten Indianapolis Colts. You'll see that right after the conclusion of this game, second half of our doubleheader. Most of you around the country as Collins goes to work on first down throws, complete to Zach Crockett, and he is crocketed by LeVar Arrington.
Yeah, he's really starting to show up, and you know, he's obviously a guy that probably more suited for their 34 defense. He's having to play in their 4-3 defense, a guy in college who was kind of a freelancer, guy that roamed around, and he still has a tendency to do that. Greg Williams is trying to corral him, have him be a more disciplined player. You're starting to see more of that here in the second half. He's settling in, he's really making plays, he's really showing up on the field.
Yeah, he really knows how to nose out the ball. Joe Paterno said, just put yourself someplace and make a play, and he did in All-America style. This is Crockett open, and he bolts his way, fumbled the ball, and Ryan Clark has it for Washington, I believe. Now they're digging for it. No, Washington loses it back to Crockett. He must be strong. He had to scrape the turf to get it back because Clark had a clear shot at it. The ball was there. It appeared he flopped on it. Watch here.
Well, it was a big hit. 3 guys. They talk about gang tackling, and Zach Crockett must have just muscled that ball out from underneath the pile.
Lamar Marshall strips him, and Crockett has the presence on his back to spin, even though Ryan Clark had the ball in his possession, and in that brief amount of time was able to wrestle the ball away. How big a play was that? Clark can't believe he didn't have the ball. On first down, Jordan for 2. 5 Redskins on the tackle. Lamar Marshall there first.
always just got to make you nervous if you're Joe Gibbs. You need your defense to stiffen up here. Try and hold them to a field goal.
Ball at the 31 here, Rich Gannon, and so this would be about a 48-49 yarder. And a reminder, Janikowski, the Raiders would be ahead, but from 45 yards today, he hit the upright.
Yeah, and you're very aware of this if you're Norv Turner. You know where you're at in the field, and you really don't want to put your kicker in this situation. We'll try and get down there close where you have a chance to either, or decision whether either to go forward or kick that field goal.
That was a miss in the second quarter. Fake to Jordan. Throw to Jordan. He's got a first down and more. Out of bounds finally at the 13-yard line. Well, when he gets the shoulder pads turned upfield, he is a beast to bring down.
Yeah, he's been great out of the backfield this year. You just see him checking out into the flat. Somebody leaves him alone. Nobody covers him in the flat. How can you leave Lamont Jordan alone in the flat? See Jerry Porter coming in there at the end, getting a great block. Get the sense that these guys are starting to fly around making plays, especially these two receivers we talked about, Moss and Porter, starting to come to life here in the second half.
Jordan, the only player in the league in the top 25 rushing and receiving. That's his fourth catch day, 51 on the season. Collins just beats the clock and gets it right back to his big running back, who's near the 10-yard line. Lamar Marshall again.
And you get the sense that they're starting to get in the groove now. Lamont Jordan getting comfortable, getting those carries we talked about at halftime.
Red zone today, 2 times they've been inside the 20, inside the 10 in fact, and came away only with 2 field goals.
If you're a good offense, you got to find a way to score a touchdown here. You hate kicking field goals and giving the Redskins a chance to get back on the field. Not only kick a field goal, maybe go down and score, knock yourself out of the game, but got to find a way to get 6.
2:40 remaining in regulation. Second down, back to Jordan. Squeezes through a small hole for a couple inside the 10-yard line. Randy Moss sitting this out with the ball down inside the 10. While Kerry Collins, his quarterback, continues his outstanding play in the 4th period. 8 for 10 in the quarter today and 120 yards.
Well, you get the sense that Norv Turner is set, made up his mind, probably going to run it here. That would be my guess. He's going to play for the field goal in this situation. 3rd and 6 on the road. Either that or call a high percentage safe throw for Kerry Collins, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball in this situation.
And Rich, Joe Gibbs, trying to save some time no matter what happens here, uses a second timeout for the Redskins. So 1 left for each team. 90,129 in this football palace in Landover, Maryland. The Redskin fans, as you know, when you played here as a Redskin and against them, no matter at RFK or here, they are terrific, knowledgeable fans and so completely supportive. They just sold out for decades.
Well, it looks like they might have changed the play, and now Kerry Collins, little confusion in the huddle.
Randy Moss is in. He's to the left. Fauci in motion. Collins to the flat to Jordan at the 5. He's in the end zone, or is he? He's at the pylon. No signal. They're going to call him out of bounds at the 1-foot line.
Well, they started out trying to get the ball to Randy Moss. You look at him on the outside. Walt Harris just sinks back again, leaving Lamont Jordan alone in the flat. I don't know if these linebackers aren't pushing out. It's unbelievable in this situation how you let the leading receiver, Lamont Jordan, you can see linebacker Lamar Marshall trying to get over the top. He actually gets picked by the release of the inside receiver. He can't fight over top of it, and it gives Lamont Jordan the opportunity to get out in front of him.
4 shots from inside the 1 for the Raiders to take their first lead of the game. It's back to Jordan. Denied. He was straightened up, then he tried to second effort. It did come out, and the Redskins say they've got it.
That ball came out.
Would this be a turnabout? Right on the goal line.
They're gonna call him down. They said he was down, but that's unfortunate for the Redskins. That ball came out. He's trying to stick that ball out in front. That pops out.
Oh my! And of course, last week in Tampa Bay, you'll recall.
2-minute warning.
Wow. 2-minute timeout. Tampa Bay went for 2, and Joe Gibbs still doesn't believe the Buccaneers scored. Close to a turnover on 1st and goal. Look at this. Well, Kerry Campbell leaping over the top, and it appears that Lamont Jordan trying to struggle under the pile and place the ball out, and it's ruled down by contact. 2nd and goal. Jordan again, denied again. What a stand so far. 2 attempts from inside the 1, denied.
Well, these guys are showing no sign of quit. These linebackers are flying up through the gaps, really taking the fight to the Raiders in the backfield. You look at Arrington fighting through there, Campbell trying to get in there. These guys aren't giving any ground up front.
What this is doing that isn't palatable for the Redskins is it's chewing up a lot of time. The more the Raiders do not get in, the more the time ticks away, down close to 1:20 remaining on 3rd and goal. Collins, man open, incomplete. Zach Crockett was open in the flat, ball through his hands.
Well, there's another example of not covering the back of the flat, something that's really hurt the Redskins all day. But I got to put this one on Kerry Collins. He's got Zach Crockett wide open in the flat. Just give him an easy ball he can catch. Throws it up high, maybe a little bit behind him. That's an easy throw, a throw that Kerry Collins should make all day, and probably a catch you'd anticipate Zach Crockett making. But we talked about earlier, you got to be perfect when you throw it to the backs in the flat.
Can't kick a field goal shorter than this. 19 yards, Janikowski, and he delivers. He's hit on 3 short and missed from 45, hit the upright. So the Raiders, for the first time today, are in front 16-13, 68 seconds left for Joe Gibbs' offense. This is a Raider team that has won only 3 times on the road in the last 21 games. But they've rallied. The league office feeling that Mike Olstad did not cross or score the touchdown, hit the goal line. Janikowski hits one deep to Rich Parson, and here comes the rookie. Tripped up at the 25-yard line by Stuart Schweiger.
Well, that's a big play by your starting free safety, Zach. Stuart Schweiger running down there on the kickoff covered team, and that's something that the Raiders have had all year. They had a lot of injuries that we talked about, but veteran guys that are starters making contributions on special teams.
Well, he knows how to drive his team to victory late. Mark Brunell, 19 times accomplishing the dramatic. But he's had a tough 4th quarter. 1 for 8, 4 yards passing. To the sidelines. Caught by Cooley. Down at the 49.
Well, that's the big play you want to start a 2-minute drive. A big completion down the field. Where does he go to? His short 2 guy, Chris Cooley, just runs a little corner route. Brunell has plenty of time. That's really the key here. And Cooper just tries to underplay, make a play on that ball, and just mistimes the jump.
With 40 seconds to go. Goes deep again. And throws it too long for Taylor Jacobs, and Asamoah runs a step with the receiver, and the clock stopped now with 34 seconds. John Hall has kicked one today from 45 yards. The 37-yard line would give him a 54-yard chance. That would be about his longest ever, 55 being his longest. I don't think his leg is that healthy today, but a lot of adrenaline's got to be flowing now. On 2nd and 10. To the sideline. Caught, juggled, and hanging on to it is Taylor Jacobs, but inbounds at the 43-yard line.
Now, this is where you think the Redskins will be working. You know, most of the second half they've been going after Nnamdi Asomugha. You got this young rookie on your right side, Fabian Washington. This is the matchup that you think the Redskins will be taking advantage of most of the day, and something they have not done a lot of.
Remember now, Mark, well balanced. 44, actually the 43.5 for Brunell. No timeouts left, 21 seconds. Down the middle. Way too tall for Taylor Jacobs.
Yeah, that won't hurt you in that situation. Obviously, the Redskins thinking blitz there again, keeping 7, 8 guys in, only sending a couple guys out in the route. Again, they guessed wrong. Raiders play coverage. Mark Brunell does the next best thing, not taking a sack, not holding the ball, not wasting time, throwing it away. Now they're forced with a critical 4th down, and they have to come up with a conversion.
4th and 3. Actually a long 2, but closer to 3. This could be the game. And Brunell is sacked from the backside, fumbles the ball. Derek Burgess makes still another brilliant defensive play, his 2nd sack, and the Oakland Raiders are going to leave the nation's capital with an upset win.
Wow, look at the excitement on that Raiders sideline. These guys have worked so hard, try and find a way to win on the road, and can't say enough about the job Derek Burgess has done today. He's really gotten after these tackles for the Redskins. You just see him just beats them upfield, beats Jansen upfield with that speed, and Brunell never feels him on his backside, and something that Brunell's done too much in the last couple of weeks, putting that ball on the ground, but Mark never quite feels him. He's looking downfield trying to get a conversion, and Derek Burgess just had an unbelievable effort today for the Raiders.
2 more sacks, 9 for the season, to put him among the pass rushing elite in the league. And now just 1 kneel down by Kerry Collins, a flag, and several others, as the Raiders used some opportune plays, especially by wide receiver Jerry Porter.
Encroachment. Correction. Encroachment defense.
Well, that'll
nose tackle. Number 73.
Run off 10 seconds, the game's over.
It's still 1st down.
Raiders, who have struggled to win away from home, 3-18 in their last 21, and trailed throughout today. Finally caught the Redskins on a Janikowski field goal at 13, and then the winner in the final minute and a half. 16-13, Oakland wins it. Next up, Peyton Manning and the Colts reach for 10-0 against Carson Palmer and the Bengals. Stay tuned for the second half of our doubleheader on CBS.